Hi, my name is Telmo, and we are here at the Cepo Verde campsite in Portugal, in the Montezinho National Park, to speak about the cabana 360 degrees behind me.
This video is sponsored by Magaster. Check out our new channel by clicking the link and be sure to subscribe.
I had this idea based on a traditional car pulled by cows that we have in the region. This one, it probably has more than 120 years. My father bought it 21 years ago. It came to this spot pulled by the cows, actually. It was working when my father bought it to an old farmer not very far away from here, about 20 kilometers from here. But it came 20 kilometers pushed by the cows, actually. And then the shepherd slept inside on this little tiny hole, very dark, no energy. Everything was inspiring on this cabin. Then you can see that it was an old car with wheels, and we just convert the movement from vertical to horizontal. So it was a way of getting innovation on that cabin. It was like a primitive caravan. Well, it was a little bit complicated. I designed it. I spoke with my cousin. He had some friend that is a carpenter. We just brought the idea to him. He told us it was possible to do, and we built it with a flow. I made some rough designs. He told me to adapt this and that, and we finally made it with some scratches, and then we passed it to a final project. After being built, we made the project on paper with all the details after being built. So it was like an inversive process. Well, this cabin is like a prototype, and it actually rotates. One of the issues was to build the mechanism to rotate it, and we built it with a friend of ours that is a mechanical. It didn't go very well, but it worked. So you can actually move it from the inside with that mechanism, manually moved. It broke after a few times because it's very heavy, the cabin. But now we have the plans, the final plans, all designed by an architect, 3D plans, and also the mechanism designed by the mechanical engineering, a 3D plan to build it. And now everything, it will be perfect functional. Here we are, Cabana Adriana. It's a rotating tiny cabin. It's actually totally ecological. It's made of wood, cork and black slates. I designed it, we built it, and it's here for some guests to use it, like an experience, a different experience, an interactive experience where people can turn it around, they can put a window to the landscape they love more, or to avoid the sun when it's very strong. And actually it's like a shelter. It's for 1-2 nights, and then it's so small that it gives an incentive to people to go out and to explore the landscape, not to stay on the lodge because it's very small. And on this area we can see the black slate, we can see the cork, the insulation, only 4 centimeters of cork. But the final design for this cabin, it will have 10 centimeters of cork, 10 centimeters by 1 meter by 50 centimeters. So they will be like giant tiles for the covering. And the slates, they won't be here anymore. That's a big window, also reflective for the UV. We have a very big handle, traditional design handle. We have a very large door, an insulated door. Inside is cork, actually the same cork that you used on the structure. And there we are, we have a small bed. We have a cork floor also from a major company in Portugal that exports a lot of these materials to other countries. We have electricity, we have a light outside, a light inside, and also a switch for charging some devices. Now on the prototype we have to put a cable that connects right over here, okay, and then the cable goes to the switch. On the final version of the cabin for production, we settle a very simple thing. On the center of the circle where it rotates, we have a rotative switch, okay? So the cable goes, make the connection, and then you can rotate the cabin as much as you wish, and you don't need to switch off the cable. That was one of the problems that we had to solve. to avoid take out the cable, connect the cable, rotate, and so we eliminate that problem. And the bed is also convertible, so we can just, this is the matrix, and the matrix is convertible on like a small sofa. It's a 3 modular, so what we do this, okay? Just to block it. And now this box allows the center of the bed to have support, but now the box goes to its place over here. Okay, now you get a very big space that you can use with this. You get a sofa. So the bed converts on a sofa. A very small sofa, but very comfortable. Yeah. The table, it's a very normalized table that actually we bought on a very big shop, well known in the world. For 2 people to use it, they can use a table, and if they want to put the sofa to this direction, they can eat with the sofa, or they can do more. They can have and convert these little boxes into seats. They can sit on a box and they eat on the table. That's it. That's the perfect height to have a meal. The boxes are also used to put some put the shoes, some little pieces of clothes. We don't have any covering system for the window because the area is so tiny, the cabin is so small that if we have something to cover the window, you will get very constricted on this area. Even some people can feel like claustrophobia. If you have the window open, you will be connected with outside permanently. So it is so small, but once you stand here and look outside, it gives you the idea that you are outside. So it's kind of a giant area. You don't feel claustrophobic for sure here. I slept here a few times, and it's quite amazing how a small area can feel so big. That's the whole idea, to be connected with outside. Below the cabin, we have the rotating mechanism. Actually, it's like a metallic circle where the cabin stands with some 8 wheels. Okay, we could initially rotate the cabin by a transmission axle that we have inside and a chain that goes to the center. It broke in the beginning, but as it's a prototype, so we just learn with the process, and now we have this all settled down. This is a mechanism, the original mechanism. So as you can see that you have like this axle goes down to a spinning wheel, then takes the chain to the center of the cabin, and here we have a handle. I took it off now, and you could rotate it by hand, and that's what is going to be on the final version of this cabin. So you can be in the cabin sleeping, looking at the landscape. You have too much sun, you can just rotate it by hand. You don't need to leave the bed even. You can sleep on the bed, and during the night you can do that. When you design a tiny cabin, a micro lodge, it's a very personal thing. So you have to think, what do you like? What do you like? What do you have around that you can be inspired of? If you find that, you will build your own structure that identifies with yourself. That's it. You're not going to build a house for a family. You're going to build something that you love, that you like, inspired by you, by your environment, by the things you like to do. And so that's it. It has to reflect yourself. It's like a Lego thing, you know, like a kid's thing. So let's show that spirit. That's it.
Thank you for watching this week's episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And if you really love what we create here at FLORB, we're working hard to bring you more, better, higher quality content. And so if you would like to support us, consider clicking the link in the description and joining the community on Patreon, and you can support the channel through that. So if you love what we do, consider checking out our Patreon page, and thank you for watching. Have a great week. Big love. Peace out.